So if you could just give us an update regarding the search for Billy and if there's been any progress, what kind of area that you guys have covered so far?
So far, we had help from the Maui Search and Rescue team. They actually came out the Thursday after Billy went missing that night to try and start getting things going. They searched the Nāhiku area from that night till Sunday and came up with nothing. They found no signs of him, no footprints, no slip marks, no clothing, no nothing in the area. As a family, we've pretty much come to the conclusion that somebody had to have picked him up that night. He didn't drive. He never drove. He never learned how to drive. He didn't have his license. So in order for him to get out of the area, someone had to have picked him up that night. We have been looking in the upcountry area just because that's like the closest next place. And I've been in contact with Detective Hamilton just trying to get any kind of information that he's okay or who saw him, who picked him up. We have been pushing the social media a lot. They ran this story on the Friday night on the TV news, but being that there was no real update yet, they haven't really said much more. We haven't received any kind of concrete lead. At this point, there's a lot of people saying, I thought I saw him in Pukalani. I thought I saw him here. I thought I saw him there. But to be honest, we don't have any kind of solid, there's no video of him. There's no, that we have seen as the family. I'm not sure if the police have had more information coming in on their end, but...
Could you tell us what kind of a person he is, and has he ever been the type of person to go missing before?
No. So Billy was really particular with where he went and who he went with. He's never done this before. He's never gone and not at least called my grandma. He lived with my grandma, and they kind of took care of each other. It was kind of like he was there to watch over her kind of thing. So when he did go, he would always tell her, or he would call and say, I'm with whoever could be, because his mom lived in Hana. He lived in Nāhiku with my grandma. So he would spend time with the mom, but he would always let my grandma know. And likewise, if he was staying with the mom and went home to Nāhiku, when he got home, he would call the mom's house just to let them know he's back in Nāhiku. So for him to be gone this long with no phone call, no contact, that's what's worrisome for us.
Was he seen with someone before he went missing?
That night, he was with my cousins and my grandma. I'm in Nāhiku at home, but our first post we put out said that because my grandma said she saw car lights coming up the hill that night, and she heard him outside, and she assumed it was his brother because of the sound of the vehicle and the time that the car was there. His brother works in town and lives in Hana, so when he would be driving home some nights, he would pick Billy up on the way in. But we checked the phone. His phone was with his mom in Hana, so there's no cell service where they live, so it was the home phone. And they checked the readout to see if he called somebody to pick him up, but we don't know. We don't know who it was because it wasn't the brother. In the morning they checked, and the brother, that's how they kind of started getting worried because it wasn't the usual people that would pick him up. He would get rides with one of his brother's, family members, and there's a couple friends out here that sometimes he would come out with, but they hadn't seen him. They were all there searching throughout the weekend, just baffled because it's so unlike him to be gone this long and out of contact.
So what are you guys planning to do from this point forward? Is it still an active search? Or?
The family, we're talking about doing just another sweep maybe of the shoreline this weekend between Nāhiku and Huelo. I know some of the cousins were trying to get together and see if somebody would be able to let us use a boat and take some of them out on a boat to just check the shoreline. And then another group was going to try again, just checking the rivers and stuff, because at this point we don't know. We have, the ones that, like myself and my mom and the cousins that live in town, we've honestly just been driving around wherever, when we had time, just kind of driving, checking out Kanaha or, areas where, I don't know, be hiding out, and we don't know if he had like a mental breakdown or something, just, where he snapped and is it hiding, or I don't know. It's just very hard for us to try and figure out where he is and why he hasn't been in contact.
Is there anything that the public can do to help, whether it be joining the searches, how they would get involved?
Yeah, right now we'd like to ask the public to just keep sharing online, just getting that out. If people want to help passing out flyers, that's another thing we've been doing, is just kind of posting flyers wherever we can, handing it out, and just keeping their eyes and ears open. If they hear anything, if they see anything, to just please let us know, let the police know. We just want to know he's okay. And it also came up, someone made the point that he's 39, he's an adult, and he may just not want to be found. But at the same time, we just want to know that he's alive, basically, and okay. And if it's his choice that he wants to be away, then okay. But just to let, especially my grandma, know that he's okay. But yeah, if you guys can just get the message across that we're worried and we missed him, and we just need some kind of notification that he's okay, that he's here with us somewhere on the island.